Well, I've been shut in like a lot of the rest of you guys with all this snow. I just got done shoveling out my whole driveway, and it probably was a waste of time because I'm looking out the window and I see more snow coming down. So I'll probably be back out there later. But I got looking around the inner man cave here, and I was thinking, you know, there's some things here that I've always treasured, and I guess if you have a claim to fame, these would be it. But I wanted to show 3 items that were special in my time as being a Flintknapper and being recognized for the work I do. I am good friends with the Waldorf, Val and Dave Waldorf. Val's passed away now, and I still keep in touch with Dave. As a matter of fact, I expect to hear from him here pretty soon because it's around Christmas and we always talk for about 2 hours on the phone. So one of the first things that they involved me in was this cup right here. Modern Flintknappers, keeping the tradition alive. If you look right here, I was included on this cup. And it was the thrill of a lifetime for me to be included with some of the great names. There's D.C. Waldorf's point right next to mine, and Virgil Ton, and Jim Spears, and Webb Hammond. I know if you guys have got this cup, you've seen all these names. There's some great people on here. Robbie Robinson's no longer with us. Craig Ratzett right up here. Jim Redfern. I've met a lot of these guys. Some I've yet to meet. Jim Hopper. Cole Hurst I met in Washington at Wenatchee. Look at the stuff he does. Isn't that amazing? Anyway, I got my point on the cup. This is back in around 1991 or 2 or whatever. And here's the actual point that Val used as the example for the model for this cup. If I can show it here. She did a great job, and the embossing on the cup is just outstanding. But this was the point I submitted. She asked me to send something that represented my work, and I was just getting into Snyder's points then. And if you see here, it's signed and it says 1991. So I've kept this all these years, but I didn't always have this point because I traded it away. After the cup came out, a fellow really wanted this bad, and I traded it to him, and then a year or 2 went by and I got thinking, boy, I'd really like to have that point back, so I made him a good offer. Believe me, I gave him a lot more than what this point was worth, but it was worth a lot more to me to have it back and have it to go with the cup. I used this cup every day when I had my coffee at work when I was working. I just retired, so I've retired the cup. Anyway, then it wasn't long after that that I was involved in this project here. This was the first Flintknappers calendar that was put out by Derek McLean. And what they did then was they featured 1 napper per month. And once again, the Waldorfs asked if I would be interested, and naturally, what Flintknapper wouldn't be interested in having their work displayed on a calendar. This is Mark Bracken, he's a good friend of mine. And there's D.C. Waldorf's work. Look at the Danish dagger. Is that phenomenal or what? Here's some really cool stuff by Bob Thomas. Just absolutely such inspirational work for me because I was still pretty much a greenhorn in those days. Still learning an awful lot about napping and very new to it. Gary Murley made all those fabulous cahokias. You saw my cahokias the other day. Well, here's where I got the idea and the inspiration. Also, the picture of those cahokias that came up in that mound dig where they were just stacked on each other really inspired me. And here we are again. Steve Burns, he's been to our show here. I know him well. He's from Louisiana. Haven't heard from him in a while, so I hope all's well with him. But then you got this napper here. This is me. And I was just thrilled to death to have, you know, my points featured on a calendar. And here's the actual points. I kept them. And kept them in this little frame all these years. There's really some pretty materials in there. And I did these back around 2000 or slightly before. So I was doing okay. I love this dovetail right here. And this is some sunset jasper. It's like an E-notch that I made. But here's my Onondaga Jack's Reef point right there. naturally a Snyder's, and a cool looking turkey tail out of some, I'm not sure what that material, if it's some Creek Burlington or what it is, but I do know that the dovetail is made out of Flint Ridge. So anyway, along came another opportunity from the Waldorfs, and it was this right here. This was Chips magazine, and if you look at this cover, it says right here, flaked items made by Kenny Wallace of Cast Isle, New York, shown actual size and drawings by Val Waldorf. Her drawings were better than a photograph because you could see the details of each and every flake that those stones had. And I kept those points too. There's been a few times where I've been hard up for a little cash and I almost sold things like this away. Unfortunately, I recovered enough where I didn't have to part with these. This is another dove, and really looks old, doesn't it? And I beveled that way back then. I can't believe I even knew how to do that. Then there's a metalwood point made out of Onondaga. I believe that hardened is made out of some Texas flint. And then Genesee point out of some Georgetown. There's another Jack's Reef. And this is a Calf Creek that I made out of some Burlington. And I'll tell you what, that came out pretty good, and I even struggle today to get notches like that. But that thing came out good, and to show you, you know, it's thin. It had to be thin for me to notch it like that. And I made that one in '92. Then there's a turkey tail, and that's made out of hornstone. And then just a nice bi-pointed blade here. But it was quite an honor to be in Chip's magazine, featured on the cover. She had a nice write-up inside about my napping experience. This was always a great magazine, and felt bad when it ended, but you know, all things do have to come to an end. Great articles in here by different nappers, and here, this is my little profile right here. It tells about where I'm from, and said that how I got my starts, and the people I'd met, and so on, and there's a little bit more here. So that's kind of a look at some of the things that I like to refer to as my claim to fame. And these are the 3 things that I really cherish and value. I just thought I'd share these with you guys. I'm by far not the best napper in the world, but I'm probably the luckiest napper to know the people that I do and have the friends that I've had over the years. So I want to thank everybody for taking their time to watch this video and watch all my videos and comment. It's definitely the rewards for having your channel is when people comment and give you great feedback and honest feedback. Not everybody likes everything you do, and you can't please everybody, but you know, you try hard. So this video is all about some of the things I've done. Now you notice it's been a few years. I think '93 was the last year that I had a claim to fame. So I guess I better get going and work at something else. So anyway, thanks a lot, and I'll be back with more.